work of fiction that I wrote in my first year of teaching. It is a story about a man and a student, a teenage boy. Sometimes I feel like those are the only people I know anymore, teachers and teenagers. I'm not naive enough to assume that this story captures the essence of every teacher's experience, but I hope that for some of us, or perhaps many, it holds some truth. Part 1, Wake Up. The man awakens. The room, dark and dusty, is unchanged. Apart from his spilled clothes, the space is mostly barren. Twisting to shut off his alarm, he bemoans the harsh reality before him. It's Tuesday. No Mayan apocalypse, no disastrous nighttime event, no overnight illness. There's no easy out. He slides his feet off his bed and onto the cold floor. He moves nimbly and knowingly about, aware of his mess's eccentricities and patterns. The dirtiest in his family, yes, but also the boldest. Shadowed by medical school elders and overachieving youngers, he was, by all family and friend accounts, a perfectly perfunctory young man. Not normal per se, but kind of a certainty. Yet he always went into school. Under his circumstances, there was hardly anything normal about that. Fights, drugs, alcohol, disillusionment, apathy, agony, like a battle royale of baby tigers. The air in the kitchen is stale and cold. His movements are swift and familiar. Grab the cereal, reach for the bowl, unleash the spoon, splash the milk, devour the early morning delicacy. He savors the routine. He follows the repetitions and the patterns. Else he might fade away or disappear entirely. Not an option, not today. He gets in his car and drives to work. The boy awakens. Quickly, his tired eyes scan the surroundings. The piles that hold his possessions are neither organized nor planned. His existence is muted chaos, erratic movements, unfinished thoughts. He is at times the unquestionable center around which teenage realities orbit. But at other times, he is violently jerked, slammed, back into the orbit of harsher truths, older truths. Reality so intimidating that few could comprehend them, and this boy was trapped, suffocating for 14 years. The hallway is filthy. Odors so detestable they cut across his taste buds and pervade the entire house. He breathes in normalcy. The boy shuffles down toward the kitchen, a bastion of chemical sustenance, a graveyard for Bojangles containers. Meals planned with far less intensity than their boisterous colors would indicate. This is the temple of famine and neglect. A man rests on his couch. It is not one of his brothers, and it rarely is. A road stop for worn travelers. His face is painted with indescribable exhaustion, the truest defeat. Not for a lack of success or pride, no. Awash with genuine lifelessness. The boy bathes in the horror and walks out the door. Few possessions provide the comfort of his headphones, the dual serpents. Slithering, tangling, they penetrate to his mind's deepest recesses, welcome invaders with the gifted tongue. They pulsate untamed while they guide the boy's brief walk to school. His steps coincide with their wondrous rhythm. A world of serenity as the ugly world transforms. The moment passes all too quickly. Part 2, Good morning. The man slams the car door. Deep breaths in, out, follow. Steps quicken as he approaches the front door. Dilapidated houses and sorrowful realities fade as it closes. He passes the doorways quickly, surveying the disappointments contained within. Half-finished bulletin boards, dangling posters, disingenuous catchphrases, bullshit, monuments to lethargy and the unrealized yet grandiose. This is teaching. There are other teachers. He genuinely likes most of them. Accurately summed up as hardened yet flaccid. Paradoxes abound in this building. He steps forward into his room. Beware, ye who enter here. In it, he is an unstable dictator, resting uneasily on his throne of crumbling pencils. The room strikes him with its usual pungent musk. At least it doesn't smell like the kids yet, he thinks jokingly. It will by the days. The boy peeks and sees the truth. Rust-colored doorways, filthy frames, stained floors, tried and tired eyes. The dilapidation is exhausting. Surrounded by frauds and enemies, he approaches his first block. Here, in the comfort of history, will he find his first reprieve? Sleep. Sheets are passed, words spoken, papers thrown, consequences issued, but he does not care. Self-sequestered in a dream, and he knows Mr., Mrs., Miss, whoever won't mind. Boy, you had better pick up your pencil and begin your worksheet on. The boy looks down. An indescribable mystery appears and taunts him. Years of failure. Not an enigma wrapped in a mystery, but rather an impossible puzzle, covered in mental barbed wire. Each cut is deeper than the last. Incisions from which failure floods. Years of building it all up. It is too much. I ain't doing this bullshit work. Get away from me. He knows the route. He counts his steps, but he cannot hear them. The hallway reeks of mischief. The office reminds him of home, all tatters and pathetic. Students pass back and forth readily. The space is not the authoritative threshold its weary rulers hoped it would be. It cannot withstand their overwhelming numbers. He cannot help but mock it all. Hours pass before they can waste their time with him. Frankly, John Smith, we cannot send you home. You've missed so much school already. It's a miracle you've made it to the 7th grade, son, considering your background. But that doesn't excuse your behavior. Part 3, the meeting. Block, in the most classic sense of the word, hints at something immutable, concrete, solid. The man realizes that they melt and bleed with surprising quickness as the day passes. First, to second, to third, to fourth, to fifth, to... Always a pause before the final block. Unstable pressure builds within. His heart thumps intensely as the hour approaches. No war metaphor suffices. 6 block is no battlefield, no bloodbath, no gladiatorial arena, no. It is more, much more. Waning, battered optimism blindly defends scientific knowledge against its immortal enemy, youth. Indifference and poverty rush to aid the aimless, and well, it's 6 block. The boy enters last, late. He surprises no one with his bravado. The man approaches the boy slowly, cautiously. This is not his first time. He wonders how long the boy will last in class today. It will not be long. John Smith, Jr., you need to remove your hood. The warm-up activity is on the front board. He turns away in futility, hiding his shaking hands, like a wilting tree facing a pathetic breeze. The boy stares up at the man in front of him. Utter exhaustion stains his entire expression. He finds the man pathetic and childlike. He sees himself in the man's translucent color. He did not realize that helplessness could cross the racial divide. The boy responds, "Fuck off, Mr. Smith. The decision is not difficult, foregone even. Learning comes and goes. The plans, the delicate paper little butterflies pass from pathetic breeze to pathetic breeze. The boy is not missed. The butterflies amuse only themselves. The man, a wilting tree, supports them, gives them slight meaning." Part 4, the end. In his mind, the boy is back where he always is. The alley is dank and the sky is raining, and all of his tears are washed away. He is desperate and forgotten. He wails, and no one hears him. They laugh at him. "The fuck, boy, you fucking crying? Look at him. Shit, he don't know his place yet." Bafflement is the privilege of those who hold the power, those who hold the weapons and the money and the credibility. The boy looks down at his hands. They are muddy and grimy. He cannot help but feel lost and angered. His anger takes a pathetic form. He cries again, and more this time. He knows what's coming. He breathes in deeply. It is his final breath. As the boy walks out of the building, a sorrow overtakes him. He too is a tree, rotting yet firm, but his destruction is indescribably slow. During his collapse, he clings to the others surrounding him. His branches grasp at every opportunity. There are so few. The reprieves are brief and fleeting. No other growth can bear his immense weight. He carries much, a history of neglect. He crumbles and cries out alone in the woods. The man rests his head on the lumpy pillow. The ultimate satisfaction is slightly less pleasing tonight. The ceiling tells infinite stories, their stories. Gray, cracked, and exposed. He thinks of them fading away. He can only do so much. They are out there. He is in here. They pass whimpering like the breezes they are. He is asleep. He does not hear them. That's it. Thanks.